Welcome to Conemaugh, India's first certified green village. Nestled amidst the eastern Himalayas, within the state of Nagaland, it is truly unique in many ways. Its forests are reserved, in fact a large tract of them as a biodiversity park. Not by a government decree or a forest department diktat, but voluntarily by the village council, which also monitors a ban on hunting of animals and chopping of trees. An amazing 20 varieties of rice is grown in its neat terraced fields, all of it organically. Jhum cultivation further lowers the farmer's carbon footprint considerably. Intercropping of alder trees help fix nitrogen in the soil, branches of which are lopped without disturbing the trees to fulfill everyday needs. And all of this is also done voluntarily by the citizens of Conemaugh. An idyllic world, no doubt, but alongside which exists another, a world in which water, soil, air and the skies are all poison.
Life on Earth was designed to be in equilibrium. It's only when we've started playing this massive experiment with the Earth's systems, life support systems, that this has become a real problem. And this is literally in the last 200 years. The Industrial Revolution was the first time that human beings were capable of doing things on a scale that could really impact.
All around us, examples abound of how all human activity irrevocably impacts the environment, and how unsustainable economic models, coupled with human greed, have destroyed the very resource base which they feed upon.
The runaway problems of climate change on the one hand and depletion of our energy resources on the other hand are going to force us to change.
So, what does that mean for us? We very obviously need to grow. It is the only way out of poverty. And moreover, how can a billion aspirations be ignored?
Because that's exactly our problem. We are not even at the stage where the rest of the world is, where we have already had growth, and we can say now we can cut back. We actually need to grow.
Environment versus development, the debate seems endless. And possible solutions definitely are no child's play. But the crisis is forcing everyone to think out of the box.
What are those strategies in which we don't have to first grow and pollute and then cut back? How do we grow but pollute less? And that, I think, is that very fascinating challenge of growth and a low carbon growth strategy. We have the opportunity, which the rest of the world doesn't have, to rethink, to rework, to reinvent.
True, we have no ready-made mantra or solutions. But equally true, we do have myriad exciting examples from across the length and breadth of the country of fostering economic growth with minimal impact on the environment, thus marking our transition into a low-carbon economy through adoption of energy-efficient green technologies.
Each individual action and the smaller efforts that are being made across the country are the opportunity to learn so that we can upscale those.
Journeying from reliance on non-renewable and depleting sources of energy to renewables, it seems, is the first step on a low-carbon pathway. Just as this village did in Ladakh. Driving through the snows across some of the highest mountain passes in the world, one reaches village Tangse. Actually, its pristine remoteness is easy to locate, for the glint of its solar panels in the sun is visible from afar.
जो यहाँ पे एक 250 किलोवाट का हमारा एक डीजी सेट था, तो उसको हमने रिड्यूस किया है कि हमने सोलर पावर प्लांट में, क्योंकि यहाँ पे काफ़ी इन्वायरमेंट में नुकसान दे रहा था और साथ में जो डीजल का भी शॉर्टेज होता था.
The beauty of solar is It's the only technology which can meet the aspirations of people for all sections of the society.
लोग तो बहुत खुश है क्योंकि इसकी डिमांड भी बहुत है. अब लोगों को अवेयरनेस मिला है कि ये सोलर है क्या.
It can generate 1 watt, 1 kilowatt, 1 megawatt and 1 gigawatt. It's clean, green, noise free. You can generate power at the point of use. It's very dependable.
Even though in 1947, at the time of independence, India was generating a mere 1.4 gigawatts of power and is now generating more than 150 gigawatts, millions in India still have no access to main grid electricity, raising issues of energy and social equity.
We need energy. I mean, just think about India. So much of India remains unconnected to something as basic as a light bulb. Okay? I think it is completely unacceptable.
For 9% GDP growth, you need 5 to 6% power GDP to grow.
Fortunately, the sun, wind, and water all have the ability to power our lives. In village Momching in Nagaland, where an intricate system of bamboo pipes transports water, the terrain is such that some areas are without access to grid electricity. The Nagaland Empowerment of People through Energy Development Department is helping villagers install hydrogers, which can produce electricity when water passes through them. Once electricity has been generated, the water flows back into the stream and is used for agriculture. Enough electricity is produced to meet household needs with minimal impact on the environment.
We've lived with so much adversity in our lives, we've had to solve problems all for millennia. India is filled with people who can do jugaad and are able to invent things.
Here, however, is one example of how the absence of grid electricity proved to be a definite boon for the environment. India as a nation, it is said, has more mobile phones than toothbrushes.
And this country, in fact, has higher telecom penetration than, incidentally, the penetration that's there in rural India for electricity.
अब घर से खेतों में फ़ोन की सुविधा और खेत में से घर फ़ोन कर देते हैं.
We are in areas where there's no electricity available. We are forced to use diesel as an alternate. What we had come out with is a model where we said we will shift from a larger diesel run generator site to a hybrid model. And we use most parts of the day you try and shift over to the solar solution. Now globally, there isn't a telecom operator who's deployed as many solar sites as we have.
So, with 58 million litres of diesel and 1.54 million tonnes of carbon emissions having been saved annually, as more than 800 million Indians chat up on mobile phones, the world's first and largest solar-powered hybrid green town network powers them. Today, customized solutions are available which can generate energy from renewables for all kinds of needs.
And I'm seeing the market opening up, people paying out of their own pockets rather than waiting for subsidy, and they're going for the best products.
Some of it is happening, and I think we need to understand that it's not easy. Please don't think this low growth strategy and low carbon strategy is like a quick fix and every country can just turn on a switch, it'll happen tomorrow. Because my question also is, if it was so easy, why hasn't the rest of the world been able to do it? Low carbon economy for me is all the sensible environmental work that so many communities across this country are doing.
Cow dung cakes have been used as fuel for cooking in India since millennia. But for 20,000 milk farmers in Shirala, access to household biogas plants has changed the lives of rural women.
आम्हाने काही धूर होत होता चुलीला लय शेण लावायला लागत धूर होत आता छानपैकी जाळ लागतोय शिगडीला जेवण वगैरे होते 10-12 माणसाचं जेवण होते काय आता धूर वगैरे होत नाही काय नाही व्यवस्थित चालतोय.
With emissions being capped, there is immense benefit to be derived for the environment as well. Waste to energy is also an oft-repeated mantra. In one such example, in Sangli district of Maharashtra, industrial waste from corn and maize starch is being transformed into energy, an important step for climate change mitigation and adaptation.
First part is methane emission reduction, by which we are almost reducing 12,000 tons of CO2 emissions into the atmosphere. and then power generation by which we are saving at least 4,000 tons of CO2 emissions into the atmosphere. We applied to UNFCCC under CDM, and we are very happy to tell you that this is the first project in whole India which has got registered under wastewater to power generation.
Energy from renewables is also fast becoming a matter of choice beyond necessity. As at this Ayurvedic ashram in Lonavala near Mumbai, an effort to not just heal the body and soul, but also the environment. Many factors need to converge for win-win paths to growth through clean technologies and eco-friendly alternatives.
There's a very strong case for innovation and for developing new kinds of technologies. But ultimately, there are two basic kinds of technologies that we need to nurture, and some of them are available, some of them will have to be invented.
The success of the Bachat Lamp Yojana project in Kerala proves how technology combined with intent can bring about change. When the state government launched an ambitious plan to distribute an incredible 15 million CFL lamps among 7.5 million people, an amazing 95% of the population participated by giving in their old incandescent bulbs in exchange for new energy-saving CFLs.
The 100% literacy contributed for the success of this program.
By switching over to CFLs, a saving of 300 megawatts of electricity during peak hours and over 27,000 tons of carbon emissions annually has been achieved.
At the end of the day, delivering 15 million CFL lamps to 7.5 million homes within a short period is a huge logistical exercise. But I think the fact that we all did it as a partnership really made it effective.
The project is now on its way to earning carbon credits for the government and people of Kerala.
It's an amazing market for the transition. Which other country in the world provides you such an enormous market for whether it's CFL, LED, solar, wind? You're creating a market for the future.
In fact, low-carbon pathways are encouraging innovations across sectors. Pune is an industrial hub near Mumbai, but surrounded by fields and farmers for whom water for their fields at the right time and right amount is of utmost importance. Santosh Oswal, a local entrepreneur, had been working on rural automation for quite a while and recollects that it was on Ganesh Chaturthi Day that his latest innovation finally took shape.
This has been the blessing of Ganesha to me on that day, and as it was very small in all the ways, so I named it as Nano Ganesh. Actually, farmers have to frequently visit their water pumps in 5 to 10 times a day. There are many challenges to access the water pumps. So they wanted some technology or solution which will help them to control this water pump from any place or from his house.
It is a mobile modem device which enables a farmer to control the functioning of his motor pump set from anywhere to water his farms. Saves time, money and energy for the farmer.
इसीलिए नैनो गणेश बैठने के बाद मेरा वो खर्च भी कम हो गया, बाकी काम करने को मेरे को वक्त मिल गया.
And by saving fuel, water, electricity and emissions, it has proven its green credentials.
The Indian economy is driven by entrepreneurship, right? And now we have that ethos moving into green entrepreneurship, so it's translating. So we have this huge, vibrant young sector which wants to develop clean technology projects, community-based projects.
Stuck in a traffic jam on his way from Mumbai to Pune, Tejas Kshatriya first thought of Revolo, an aftermarket hybrid conversion kit, which can be effectively fitted into any kind of automobile.
Now, the benefit of a plug-in parallel hybrid is that you can use all the energy that you otherwise waste in a normal car, put it inside the battery and bring it back to usage whenever you want to drive your car at an accelerated pace or when you want to start the car. The benefit is almost 30 to 60% reduction, 30 to 60% reduction in fuel consumption depending on your driving condition. The benefit is at least 30% reduction in emission.
Pure inspiration too can fuel innovations and inventions. Growing up in the city of Bengaluru, Chetan Maini loved to tinker with toy cars. As a college student, he drove across Australia in a solar-powered vehicle.
The fact that we could cross a continent on sun energy to me was an eye-opener.
In 2001, the Reva was formally launched nationally and globally.
Irrespective of big corporation, if you really have a product and you can meet that consumer requirement correctly, then irrespective of size, I think you have a business.
Reva, or the one which can move, as say the Vedas, has surely moved on. From India to countries all across the globe, and is the largest selling compact electric vehicle in the world.
Reva from its inception has never manufactured a polluting car. We've always manufactured green cars and we always will. So for us, that's an important part of our ethos.
But low carbon initiatives are not just restricted to technology and innovations. We need to change the way we live.
The West has made low carbon economy different from development. To me, low carbon economy is everything good that you would do to make environment sustainable. And I think it is that we have to understand that India is already doing and can do a lot more.
Buildings consume nearly a third of all energy produced. But we need them to live, work, heal, learn and play in. All building activity has serious environmental implications. And with rapid urbanization underway in India, construction of all kinds has assumed frenetic levels.
We can make buildings for much less, not just energy, but also materials, because both are in short supply.
Fortunately, serious efforts are being made to make buildings more green, which means that they use less water, optimize energy efficiency, conserve natural resources, generate less waste, and provide healthier spaces for occupants.
We chose to go that route so as to be an example. So we don't just talk in the classroom of environment protection or a green building concept or conservation of energy. We actually show them on campus. This is how we've done it.
One would imagine that it would be difficult for hospitals to adhere to the strict validation norms for green buildings. But obviously, the benefits accrued make it worthwhile.
I've got the calculations which is bringing out a saving of about 60 lakhs per annum in electricity and 30 lakhs per annum in water.
It is not just standalone buildings which are trying to be more environmentally conscious, but even commercial housing complexes.
We make Z homes these days, or zero energy developed homes, because the aspiration is to try and see that you reduce as much as possible the use of fossil energies like coal, oil and gas.
The world's first largest platinum-rated green building is also in India, albeit in a sea of chrome and glass. It allows those who work there to see the sky outside change colors and the seasons go by. It allows its nooks and corners to be lived in by the birds, apart from obviously being energy efficient and recycling both water and waste. Bengaluru too has one such new landmark. For those who love to indulge in luxury but suffer from green bangs, they can now indulge their senses in responsible luxury in the world's first and largest green luxury hotel.
You can build a great building, but what you really need to implement is the service experience and involve the customer in that experience.
In the morning when I wake up, I just slide the windows and I switch off the lights, and I like that light.
Today, we have luxury hotels at the top end, all of them being LEED Platinum certified as green buildings.
Perhaps we also need to rephrase waste.
Why are we looking at waste as a waste? It's a resource.
But as wastes get more and more hazardous, responsible recycling, especially of electronic waste, has become imperative for protecting the environment.
You could solve all your environmental problems, provided you become zero discharge society.
An Indian company has an innovative recycling on wheel service, where they collect electronic waste from the doorstep and recycle it in a manner where much of it can be reused as raw material. and save harmful compounds from entering the soil, water and air. Also, as cities grow, they produce greater amounts of waste. The Municipal Corporation of Delhi became the first civic body in the world to earn carbon credits twice in a row from United Nations Framework Convention of Climate Change for cutting down on carbon emissions by stopping methane leaks from garbage. Coincidentally, the world's first railway to have earned carbon credits is also the Delhi Metro, which had registered a project based on its regenerative braking process with UNFCCC. It sure is a sign of times, as people wear their green antecedents quite literally on their sleeves. By using environmentally friendly fabrics and production processes, fashion too, it would seem, is attempting to turn eco-friendly.
The journey has just begun. One is questioning, one is understanding, and one is trying to take the right decisions.
Another Indian fashion brand is busy living up to its pro-planet tagline by making biodegradable shoes and using organic cotton for its tees. It also launched Ecolution on Facebook, where young people were asked to grow trees in the virtual world. Now, over 41,000 real trees have been planted at those very locations across the country.
This is an issue I can talk about. It's close to my heart, and that's what we stand for.
What I feel today in India is that there is an enormously powerful search for answers, okay? And I think there is a powerful movement which is experimenting with alternative approaches. Now the question is to bring the two together, okay? And that's why I'm not pessimistic.
In times of satellite navigation, lighthouses may have lost some of their sheen, but for centuries, quite literally, they were the only beacon of hope for those at sea. Their light both warned travelers of dangers and guided them to safety. This lighthouse in Paradeep is doing the same today, albeit with a difference. It is powered by a hybrid wind and solar system, minimizing use of fossil fuels and emissions. In doing so, it is indeed showing us the light by guiding all of us to choose low-carbon pathways. It is also perhaps warning us that if we do not choose wisely, both our survival and the planet's is at stake. Because for long we have used, misused, and abused the earth. Now, the time has come for healing.